Hey Joe. All right. Just watched this game. It was in Lovell Arena. And you guys won by a goal. Very like I was watching them play and they had a lot of high powered puck handlers and some pretty good defensemen. So that makes things hard to navigate, right? When the other team's really good and it's a tight game, a lot of times it's like, what's your strategy? Like, if your offensive strategy isn't working, how are you going to contribute to this game for your team to win? And a lot of times it's like first making sure that you're not getting scored on. You're not a liability. And I don't think you got scored. Your line got scored on once, or I think. And I looked at that goal, and it's like, well, one person lost their mark, but for the most part, you guys did a really good job. One thing I will talk about with you on strategy is your face-offs. You were 50% on the night, and uh, you were going for your hands were off. It was great, right? You're setting yourself up to win clean draws, but they were winning the draws. They were winning a lot of them. And so what's plan B? You need at least two other plans. Like if your clean draw doesn't win, what are you doing instead? Because if a center has your number and he's just faster and quicker at his draw, well, what are you going to do to stop that? So you need a plan. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that. And another thing that came up defensively, I thought you did a pretty good job in zone coverage. Didn't give them a lot of opportunities, which is textbook hockey. Like if you're doing your best to create stuff, and if they're just really good and everybody's covered, it's like, you get to the end of your shift, 30, 40 seconds, and nothing really happened. That happens all the time. Like you want more to happen, but it didn't. But at the end of the day, defensively, you're making sure you guys aren't a liability because that's going to be your job. Because you never know how your career is going to go. You might become a defensive specialist, right? Like as you get older, being on the ice to score goals is great, but what if the other team has a huge line of studs and we need somebody to be able to stop this group from scoring, and then gives our lines who are offensive a chance to go and score on our end, but a coach will match a really good defensive line against their offensive line, because every time they're out there, you're out there, so you get to play just as much, and you're a defensive specialist. Like that's a thing. There's usually one line of where all the really offensive goal scorers are piled up. And then there's lines 2 and 3 who are, they're going out there to try and make things happen. But like if you can specialize yourself, it's not necessarily scoring goals. There's like 6 places for you to be a defensive specialist, and you'll get out on the ice a lot because you are protecting the win, right? Whereas we get the power play going out to score goals, you might be being put out there like 2 minutes are left on the clock. We can't put in our gunslingers because they're defensively a liability. So we put out the people who are going to stop stuff. It's a lot of responsibility. And that kind of player is in very high demand. Responsible players like that who can make things happen but are defensive specialists, something to consider. Okay, let's go. So, a couple of things on your face-off. Okay, let's roll into it. Let's find out where the draw is. Okay, so I know it's hard to see there. That's kind of like, okay, pan in. Your hands are out. It's great. Okay, watch this draw. And so what that was, if you watch that again, it hit something on the way down. The ref's drops were weak because the puck is always bouncing rather than it's supposed to land completely flat, not like on edge and then bounce. Like it's not supposed to do that. So this guy's just throwing the puck down. So I was like, me. But I noticed the first few draws were losses, and I'm like, So I can't quite see, I'm a little bit blind, but he pushes his stick forward, then sweeps it back. I feel it hit something. Okay. And I've noticed a bunch of the draws were losses from you trying to win them forward. Now, it's not because of your technique, right? Because I'm watching you with your hands out, and then it's reaction time, right? Your hands are out, you're doing everything you can to get the most leverage you can, and that's what's going on is your hand is out, and then you're trying to win it back, okay? You might want to start cheating a little bit, right? Because as the ref is about to, where's my puck? I have a green puck around here. As the ref is about to, like the ref was there, there's always a little bit of an up motion, and then they throw it down. That little, and you're waiting for that. As soon as you see a little twitch, that's when you're sweeping through. If like you're waiting for it to see it hit the ice, you can be late. So that's number one. Number two is if the guy who you're up against is beating you clean, you got to resort to the passive draw. And the passive draw is the sword clash or crossing the swords, right? So the other team will place their stick on the ice, okay? And then sometimes they'll lift they'll be the stick on the ice, they lift it, and they come back and win. You're going to be lining up like this, and the first thing you do is a hard slash across the stick. So that whatever you're doing, where you slash this way, you're slashing and then you're winning the puck back. So it's a 2-strike move. You're lining up, and then wherever his stick is, you're just whacking it. Like ideally, you're going to try and think about, like a lot of times there'll be a signal as to which way they're going to try and win the draw. And, say for example, they're lining up where the refs are, and the open space is on the backhand, and so you're going to, try to win they're going to try and win the puck on their backhand. So in this case, okay, so here's the backhand. So I'm going to line up slightly on the inside of that, right? So like you might not be able to see it, but like I'm on the inside here, just a bit, because if he's trying to win the puck, like if they're trying to win the puck back that way, I want to have my stick on the inside to block that, right? So I'm cheating. Don't even worry about the puck hitting the ice. Not at all. As the ref is getting ready to drop, because sometimes there might even be a timing sequence. If you watch the ref for enough draws, and then the ref will line up, put his hand out, and then he'll drop. There's like timing there. Like a lot of times the refs are predictable. And they'll bend down, they'll put their hand out, maybe it's 1 second, and then they drop. Like if you're timing all that, thinking about all that, you're cheating. So as soon as he's getting ready to drop, you've already come through with the block. And now that you've got the stick blocked, you're coming in with your body, and then you're kicking it or you're using your stick. The other thing you can do is block and then sweep. So if somebody is beating me at least twice on a clean win, like I did, my clean win is slower than their clean win, it's going to happen. There's always somebody better than you, right, with a particular skill. And if you're losing clean win after clean win after clean win, you need to resort to passive wins and the tie-up. So crossing the swords is one. Another one to do, I'm not as good as at this one, is the stick lift. So you're here lining up, and then you're coming underneath, but you're still crossing the swords. I find it to be not as effective. I know some people do it. I'm more of a whacker, like sideways rather than up and lift, cross the swords. And then the other thing is to just clash stick and then come in and well, in this case, I would whack this way. What would I do? I would whack and then rotate my body and turn my back on the player so that he can't see. Like you turn your back completely so they can't see. And then the puck is there and you can win it back. The other thing you can do is kind of tie up the stick like that and tell your wingers that you need help. Like this guy's just beating me. So you're gonna tie it up, and then the two wingers will come in and try and pull the puck out of your skates. Okay? Let's look at this face-off. I'll just go through all the face-offs. I think I can slow it down so we can watch. Let's in fact do that. Hands are out. All right. Let's see if we can see what happens. Hard to see. Yeah, you're both going for the clean win. And he got the bounce. Oops. Yeah. He just had a quicker, his was quicker. So in this case, you're lining up, your hands are out. Now I am noticing after a while you'll recognize what the guy's doing, right? He's winning it to his backhand. So in this case, what I would be doing with my stick is I would maybe even change my hands and get it on this side, and then I would cross the swords and whack into his stick that way and then pull it. So you can rotate your body a little bit until the ref pulls you back, but like I wouldn't be. He's just too quick. And he also lifts his stick up. Did you notice that? His stick is off the ice. I don't know if we can get it and see it. Let me slow it down a little bit more. Yeah. He lifts his stick off the ice. Oh, why did it do that? So that's hard to do because you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, see that? He lifted his stick up there, and then like the ref is about to drop it, but he's already lifted his stick over. Puck drops it, and then that's how he was winning it. Because you were starting in the place where you're supposed to. Ref drops it, then you go. He was already lifting his stick off the ice. Ref drops it, and then he's just a hair ahead of you. I mean, why not use that as a little like? I like what that guy did. So what he did? Do you understand what I'm saying? There is like he's as you're lining up with your stick on the ice, right? Your hands are off, and the ref is coming over and he's getting ready to drop. Before he's dropping, you've started to lift your stick up a little bit, and then so when the puck is dropped, you're already on the down swoop rather than being here, lifting your stick up and then coming down, right? So it's a little slower. If you're waiting, he moves, you lift and swoop. Why don't you start to lift, drops it, and you're coming down on it. That's a clever cheat that he didn't get called for. Right? Let's use that. All right. Next one. So I had a bunch of draws. With the ref always in the way. So that one, this is a different guy. Yeah. This guy keeps his stick on the ice. Yeah, again, his hands are out, just a little quicker. But it's almost like your stick was right there, and the puck landed perfectly, and then he just that looked a little unlucky. But again, another clean, tried to be clean rather than whacking his stick first hard and then sweeping it. Because when you whack, your hand is on the your hand your stick is on the inside, right? So if you whack, you're on the inside. You're on the inside, and then the puck is right there. So you've whacked first. Now the puck is dropped, and then you can win it back. This was a passive draw against you, which was a neat thing I wanted to show you. And, you know, again, this is about learning. See that? See how early he lifted his stick? This guy's pretty good. This guy you're up against. You see the huge lift before the puck even moved? That's what was going on. He was jumping the gun, and the ref never called him back. That's supposed to be thrown out. But you keep doing it until you get thrown out. Oh, yeah. Huge jump of the gun. Wow. The puck hasn't even hit the ice yet. The puck hasn't even hit the ice yet, and he's already blocked your stick and moved like huge boom. That's what it was. But why can't you do that as you go forward? Why not? He did it all night. I was watching him beat up your centers all night long. All he was doing was jump on the gun. But he also, in this case, he did a good job of blocking your stick first. Block. See, he's on the inside now. And then was able to get it. It's pretty center work that you're gonna watch. You're gonna emulate. And so he's doing it the lead in before the puck hit the ice, and on this passive draw, way before you even moved. He's already done that. See that lift? Okay. I had this one. So that one was this center, and what he did was a stick lift. That. And what I'm doing this for is like you have plan A, B, and C. Clean draw, passive draw. Here's a different type of passive draw where he's lifting. And it was pretty effective because he used his stick as a fish hook. So he went and swept and got under his stick and locked it. But interestingly, now this wasn't that good center. This is a different guy. This is 18. And then both these guys, they don't act until the puck actually hits the ice. That the other guy is lifting a stick and moving. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Then there's this one. What was this? Oh no, there's this one. Last face-off one. So see how clean that was? We know he's going to the corner. And what he's doing on his forehand is like a snake bite. He's turning and then hitting. Like you were pretty late there. And so if you know, I'd be cheating. I would have my stick lifted, coming in for the whack. Yeah, you're late. So, a couple of things to work on there, right? You had 50% on your draws. You want to be 65 and up, maybe even 70%. Like that's where you need to be. Like if there's 2 minutes left and we need a face-off win, like you want to be a stud as a face-off guy. Like every face-off is an opportunity to win the puck. And if you're so successful that you've got like we're more likely going to win. Now not in this game it's a 50-50 chance we're going to win. So like you can do face-off plays, like set plays. Like there are plays where this guy's coming through, we get a pick here, this guy drops back, this defenseman comes over here, defenseman picks it up, passes it. Like there's all these plays, set plays off face-offs. If your center is a stud, coach is going to recognize that. They're going to put you out when there's 2 minutes left in the game and there's a face-off in our zone. We need to win this draw. Go put out, get Joe out there. That stuff happens. Okay, let's keep moving. On this one, nice in-zone coverage. All right, let's see where you are. Okay, so there you are. Kind of difficult for me to see your number, but there you are. Okay. One thing I'm going to chirp you about is that you tend to go for the puck. When the other team has it, you're reaching it. They have full control of the puck. You're reaching in like you're going to take it. Like that is not. And if you've noticed, pretty much all these guys are hot hands, that silky mitts. And they see you reaching and it's like, great, thank you for putting your stick there. So now I can stick handle around that, right? You can't like, oh, I'm going for it. Like you're not going to get it. You got to play the body for like, get your body in their way because they can stick handle all they want. But if you're stopping yourself right in front of their face, like there you are right in front of their face, they're not going to be able to stick handle around that. They can do whatever they want, but you're standing right there, right? Once you're standing right there, now all you got to do is dislodge the puck. You're not trying to take it. You can't. It's too hard, okay? So you've now put yourself right in their way, and with a strategic poke check or a stick hit, if the puck dislodges, now you can go get it. So there's two things before that. One is playing the man, which is like right in front of them. You're right in their space and they can't move by you anymore because you've just put, it's not a body check, but you're coming right up against them. The next thing is dislodging the puck. That's part 2. Part 3 is going for that loose puck. Then you can get it. That's the sequence. What most of you do is you're thinking like a young person does, as it's the game. It gets very quick because everybody can dangle now. Is that you're trying to go get control of the puck first, and that it's what it's doing is allowing the offensive player to see you play your cards. You're going to put your stick right here, and so when you put your stick right there, I can now slide underneath. I can go here. I can go there. I can do different things because you've put your stick there. So I'm going to work with that. Like if you come right out in their face, like wherever I don't, now what? My little stickly, you can do all of this, but if you stop right in front of them, all that stuff is rendered useless. Now he's got to move. Now when you're side to side, it's like attack. Once you're side to side, you can start going for the puck. Okay? So the first thing that I saw was a flyby, which doesn't make me too happy. That right there. Okay, so you're reaching. Whereas this guy, I was watching that defenseman 74 all night. Boy, well, that kid could stick handle. So what I would have done is I would have slipped my body straight in front of him and stop his progression. He can dangle all he wants, but he's not going to be able to do it with me right in his grill. And it's not a body check. It's you have the right to place yourself right in front of him. When you get to 14U or 13, when you get to body checking, then you can body check. But this is not body checking, but you're allowed to place your body right in front and creating body contact. That's totally allowed. You're just inhibiting his progression. So he can't go any further. Then you fight for the puck, right? So here, you're reaching in. You're not getting it. He kept going, and you flew on by. You're gonna roll right here. You're gonna roll in first, and hit the brakes right in front of him, and then you're gonna dig the puck out. This here, what you're doing is you're thinking you're gonna be able to pull this out, some cheeky little toe drag, and go on offense, and it's gonna be glorious. You can't do that. You're defending. This is waiting to go on offense. This is not how you make sure you get it. This is risky. And it didn't work. And then he flew on by you. And they kept in. And now you're with nobody. Okay? Get your body in front. But then, okay, careful, because you just left your guy. But you also have to help your D part, the D who's there. So coming in, taking this guy and making sure this puck doesn't get through you, leaving this player with him. That should be fine. Let's see if that's the way it stays. Not really. It went into the corner and now you've switched again. Every time you switch your mark, it's confusing. Because if you decide to switch your mark, the other two guys who have players are like, okay, you've now taken him. I'll get him. When that kind of happens, that's when good teams will abuse that, because lost marks, sometimes two people go to the same person, like, and then somebody's completely open. So right now, that's what happened, is he's now open with the puck. It happens to be in the corner, so it's not a big deal. Okay, now we're locked. Okay, so we reset. Okay, everybody's got a guy. Got a guy, 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 plus one goalie. 6 on 5. We should have this. If everybody stays with their guy. So you are right there. And I love that. You stayed with him. You're staying with your guy. Like, nobody had anything clean. You know, pucks are going to come in. The game is fluid. Shots are taken. But everybody stayed with their guy. And they were able to make the play. And you guys were out. That was sweet. That was good. I like that one. Okay? Protect your puck and move away from pressure. All right, let's see where you are. I think you're in the corner. Oh, yep. You just made the play. This is just right after. Okay, I think, yeah, this is you right here. Now, I would have been, as a center, by the time this guy gets the puck, I would be at the dots because you're supporting. So I would have come a little closer and maybe even a little further ahead, because this could be a soft dump where you want to be having momentum. You don't want to be waiting to see what he does. You want to be skating through. You're either skating through this way or you're skating through that way for the dump, but you want to keep moving. So I saw you kind of coasting. Okay, so it's a coast. Puck moves up. I would have started to take off. Works out. Now, This is a bad situation. Your team is changing. You're 1-on-4. What do you do? Okay. Don't go through people. Don't. It's too hard. D are all good now, right? But what you can do is protect your puck. Right now, the way you had that was your puck was exposed. You have the puck out in front of you. It's a poke check. Like everybody's whacking at it because the puck is out in front of you. We have to start protecting our puck. Like you can delay, right? You're 1-on-4 right there. And like if you dump it, that's one thing. But while you're playing, if you have the puck out in front of you, okay, that's exposed. Other players are going to be able to get that. So as soon as you're feeling pressure come to you, you got to move the puck into a protected position. And a protected position is moving it over to this spot where I've got the puck, my body, and them. Once you have this puck and move it over to the side, you can decide what's going to happen next. What's this defenseman doing? So if this defenseman starts coming and you have this puck and you're protected, then you can always turn. Like I'm looking at your play here, and it's like you're in big trouble because you're 1-on-4. You can dump it, but then you'd give them the puck. If you try to hold on to it for a little bit, it could be you're waiting for your teammates to show up. So right here, what I would have done is put the puck right on this position here in a wide leg stance and protect the puck because you've got 3 players on this side of your body. So I would be moving the puck over to this spot. This is exposed. He can get that. So in a wide leg stance, you do that. Then you can turn and probably move towards the boards, looking over your shoulder to see if somebody's coming late. It could be you get no help. It very well could be. But imagine you can come this way and then go forward and then put the puck again here with your legs, and then you're just holding on time for the cavalry to come in and help, and maybe you hit somebody late, whatever. But if you expose the puck and here it's like get rid of it, you just get it to them. And then your teammates were not far behind. Here's the first one, right? So right here, at this point, I would be turning towards the boards, protecting the puck. Again, all 4 of these players are on that side of the ice. So I'm going to put the puck literally wide leg stance and put it over here. And then look over my shoulder that way. And then maybe turn back this way, keep going, and then maybe turn again. And by this time that you've done that, the guys start showing up late. And all 4 of these people are attacking you. So imagine you did that, curled in, came back, and then hit somebody late there, and now you still have the puck. It's better than just like giving it to I give up, right? You can keep fighting. All right, this one, no flybys. All right, you are right here. Okay. Okay. What am I going to tell you? How am I going to chirp you? Oh, there it is. Now, do you see what's going on? Look what happened. Then again, don't be sensitive. We're learning. Okay? You after the puck. And what did he do? Interestingly, he protected it. He moved the puck away from the pressure because he saw your stick. They can react. These guys can dangle, man. You put your stick out in a while, like this whole motion of your stick moving through is tracked by the offensive player. They could see the thing coming, and at the last moment, move it out of the way, come back. They can see it all. You go whack at it, they're going to dangle you. So what could we have done? I would not be watching the puck right here. What I would have done is I would have moved and just stopped right in his way. Just got in his way. And then he'd have to do something very evasive because you're not even worrying about the puck. You're blocking his momentum with yours, getting in his way. Now, once you're side by side and you're like literally right on top of him, then you look for the puck and you'll be side by side. Then you can attack that. You can never, ever attack a player, you going one way and they have full control and they're coming at you. Ever. They will all, the rink is so big. They have so many offensive tools to work somebody who does that. Can't do it. Okay? I would be in a wide leg stance right here. Wide legs. And I would be watching his body. I would let him go into the corner, but I would not let him go into the center of the ice. So right now, you got to just get in his way. Okay? All right. Reaching for pucks. Let's see. Okay. You are right there. Pretty much the same moving. Isn't it? You went for the puck. And a guy dangled you. And now you're left watching him go the other way. Now, if you look at the defender, so you can't do that. Then we watch the defender who's side by side. He can reach in and be aggressive, and that puck gets dislodged. Now it's a foot race. You want to create that system where you're side by side going the same way. You can like go after him. But it's a different scenario when you're facing each other. You can't do it. You cannot do it. Stop in his way or set yourself up so you're curling, which we call angling. Angling, in this case, would be, well, would have been coming from this side to allow him to go this way, and then that's when you attack. It's hard. It's kind of like it's like artwork in order to get that right. And the people who can angle, they go high in their game. So you're basically inviting them, like say a player's coming up the ice, okay, and you're here somehow defending this way. To angle, you would step out this way because what that does is it makes it look like, oh, he just gave me this whole direction. He's like in here, so I'm not going to cut in here. So if you see that and then you curl in and time it right, so now you're side by side going the same way, you can attack. You can totally attack and then rub them out on the boards. That's how to do it. The only way this breaks down is if this player, if you come in too early and then they cut like that, then you're burnt. So here, you're going straight at him, so he's able to do some fancy stuff, and in this case, you get burnt. So here, at this point, what I would be doing is either stepping in this way, because the guy's right there, or stepping out that way to encourage him to go one way or another, and then you swoop in and go side to side and attack. So in this case, I would have gone the other way. I wouldn't have gone in. I would have gone this way and up to deflect him this way, so then we can be side by side that way, rather than going towards the net. Okay? No more flybys. All right. Now here's an interesting play that I loved that you guys did. Okay. So you're about to get the puck, handling off your backhand, which makes me happy. And then you're coming in here and you tried to toss it through the guy. Okay? Loved this. Now this is a really good entry where you're 3 on 5. Okay? But what you've done is the two of you have come together to isolate one guy, where everybody else is kind of like, they can't really come in because both of you are working the one guy. And what a great way to do it is so like if we come back here and you've got a D here, and then you've got a way to have a player drop the puck back to the two. So both of you are coming in, and then you do a drop pass. He continues in, and you try to sauce it through. Another way to look at it is the puck carrier has the puck here, and you're driving this defenseman wide, and your teammate comes in behind you, right? Because this defenseman will move with you because they can't let you go, so they're going to move there. Okay? So what is going on here? So they will move with the puck carrier. What have I done? There we go. Let me try that again. So the D will have moved with you or your teammate, and then the drop comes. Okay? A lot of times what will happen is the D will leave you then and go to this guy, but you will continue behind where you can sauce the puck behind you, and now you're behind the guy, right? So you 2-on-1. So I saw what was going on here, and I got all fired up. I'm like, oh, this is a really good play, where right there, all you had to do is wait a little longer for your player to get through behind, a little longer, and then you're making a sauce behind that. Like, isolating one player like this, even though you are 2 on 5, it's like really good stuff here. That's how you do it. Like, imagine you're all entering the zone, and the puck carrier, the person in the middle, will come over to the puck carrier where you've got this setup, and you're working this defenseman. Like, you can drive wide, and this D will drop back, and then you can drop it back to this guy who's going to be just following behind you. It's like sweet. So sweet. Like, the sauce almost got through. He almost got through. He's behind him. Then you got buckled there. That'll happen. That'll happen. All right, this one. Body first. Gonna chirp you. Be ready. All right, here we come. Let's see if you can see where I'm gonna chirp you. All right, you are right here. Okay. What could you have done here? And this is that hot defenseman. Very slick D. What could you have done? Let me slow this down. Right there. Where do you go? That's right. You just move right in his way and eliminate his ability to do anything. It's not a body check. You're not targeting his body. There will be a time where you would, but you can't. But what you can do is, instead of placing yourself right here, you place yourself directly in where he wants to go, which is up the boards. So he can't go anywhere. And now you're going to be able to fight for that puck. Here, when you're reaching, because you're trying to get control of that rather than the body first, he keeps, like you're still reaching, and he has the, now he's placed himself where his body is between the puck and you. So now he has control and you're behind him. And then you tripped him. And didn't get called as this guy's staring at you. Maybe it was cold and you didn't want to call it. It was a tripping. Tripping. But if you're standing right in front of him, you won't need to do any of that. Because you would be there. You would be right in his face. Okay? All right. Last one. Okay, there you are right there. That's a good curl. The good boy. All right. Where's everybody's guy? Well, let's take a look. Marked. Somebody's in the corner with nobody on them. That should be a defenseman. You're a little bit behind the play. Let's see how this plays out. Okay. You've gone to the corner. So that means the two defensemen, that's a hard thing, because the two defensemen now are responsible for this guy who is in a prime scoring position, and then this guy right here. This guy has nobody, so it's a little tricky. That should have been a defenseman going to the puck carrier. Then he made the pass, and you left your guy. Did you see that? It's a hard thing to do when you're young, is that you want to follow the puck. So he makes a pass, then you turned and followed the puck rather than let him pass. I don't care, because everybody else is covered. And if you stay with him, he's covered too. Everybody's got a guy. But then you left him. See how he got loose? Can't leave him. He's left. He passed the puck. It's like you're still locked on. He's your guy. Everybody else has a guy. Nothing can happen if everybody's covered. But the way you guys play is you follow the puck, and so people open up, and then they switch, and they open up again, and then you get, and we call that running around, because who takes who? It's like it's constantly changing. But you recovered well, right there. Now you've picked up 34. Perfect. This is what I mean. That's what I mean. And then you guys are out. That was perfect. That was perfect. So you've picked 34. I saw you looking like he's not going to just let you cover him, so he's going to move. So you got to watch the puck, and you got to watch him. You got to watch the puck, and you got to watch him. And so he's moving. It's like, well, okay, I got to move too. And so you're watching the puck. He moved. Now you're watching him. Like every 2 seconds, you saw him. You moved to him. Now what's happened? Because you went to him, everybody is covered. This is a bit deep, but he's looking for help. And then you're coming to cover him. So nothing's going to get done. He tries it now. I was like, okay, I have no one to pass to, so I better do something fancy. And he blows a tire. Because nobody had anything to do. It was textbook. That was perfect. So if somebody passes the puck, let the puck go. You're mine. You. And you stay with them. Everybody stays with everybody. Of course, if the defender, because you also have to watch the puck too, right? You got to stay with your guy, because if your defenseman falls or gets burnt, you got to come and help. So you got to do both. That's hard, but that's how we do it. Okay, that's what I got. That's what I got. Hard game. You know, it's hard for fancy, fun stuff to happen. That doesn't always. I didn't see a lot of fancy, fun stuff, but I saw some good playing. Not a lot happened, meaning that defensively you guys were solid. You weren't able to create what you normally create, but that's because they were really good. And you guys won because you didn't get scored against. right? All you need is one more goal than them and you win. And you guys did your jobs. When you were on the ice, nobody scored. Nobody. They are not scoring. There was the one goal that I saw, but it's like somebody lost their guy. I thought you played a really good game. Solid. So a little bit better on that end zone coverage stuff, and now you have some plans for your face-off. Okay? All right, man. See you at the next one.